This week we discuss the big screen adaptation of Mattel's Barbie. Today we welcome back my cousin Vera.
Hello, folks.
And welcome for the first time, Tiara.
Hello, everybody.
I'm Chad. Please enjoy the 118th episode of We Used to Talk About This at Work. All right, so this is a slightly stripped down episode than normal. Obviously, no Matt here because we're doing this in the middle of the week. And this is actually going up in a day and a half. So no Matt. Time of recording, he's at work. There's going to be timestamps on everything if any people want to jump around. We're still going to do like the opening chit chat and stuff. It's just not going to be as long as normal. And there's going to be a non-spoiler section and a spoiler section of Barbie. But all that's in the show notes if you want to hear some of our Barbie discussion, but don't want to hear like spoilers if you haven't had time to go see it yourself. But I just would like to welcome you onto the show, Tiara. We've known each other for a little while now, and about a year ago, you moved back to I almost said Texas. You moved back to Florida. So, like, how has the transition been, like, coming back home, as it were?
It's been great to see how much my hometown has changed since I've been home. It's been about 10 years actually since I've been home. So that's pretty cool. Working from home has been a huge transition, but it's really cool. I'm enjoying myself.
What have you been doing to keep busy out there?
I go to the gym. I started a different workout regimen. So I'm really focusing on strength training, and I go visit my friends in other parts of Florida on the weekends. So it's been pretty cool.
So, have you been to Texas before?
I have been in Texas before.
Have you driven in Texas?
No, I've flown into Texas. I'm actually planning on driving into Texas Labor Day weekend.
I do want to revisit that, but the reason I brought that up is because, like, notoriously, Texas is, I believe, the largest state in the country, if I'm not mistaken. And no, you disagree there? I
I
don't
think
know.
it
I'm just
is.
throwing stuff out there.
No, I think Alaska's bigger,
Yeah, that's fair.
but technically, no.
Okay. You are correct. Alaska is the largest state. Maybe it's the largest state in the continental U.S. Perhaps.
I
Yes,
think
it
so,
is.
yes.
Yes, it is. It's number 2,
Okay.
followed by California. So what I was trying to get at was that driving from one major city to another in Texas is like is a journey onto itself. Like you're like, oh yeah, I want to go from like Austin to Dallas. Okay, well I hope you got a day and a half. So is it like in Florida when you're going from like city to city, is it like a really long journey?
It can be. I used to drive back and forth between New Orleans and Florida all the time, and that was definitely the longest part of my drive is driving from Tallahassee down to Central Florida. It sucked.
What do you remember like
I-10
how long that
sucks.
takes?
Oh, I remember the whole trip used to be around I think 10 hours.
10
But
hours?
well, but that's including other states. So I think from Tallahassee, I believe, or Pensacola, I should say, from Pensacola down to Central Florida, I want to say 8 hours.
Hmm. Vera, what's the longest road trip you've taken?
I guess I would say from St. Louis to Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh, wait.
8 hours.
Did you have to do those summers down south like my mother and her siblings had to do when they visited their great
Oh,
grandmother?
yeah, yeah.
I'm
No,
sorry.
no. This is this was to visit my boyfriend's family members. and
Gotcha.
for New Year's Eve. But oh my God, yeah, no.
It's been about 8 hours for me too in the car. It's when we would drive from St. Louis to the part of Iowa that Samantha's from, and
Mhm.
I don't like being in the car that long, honestly. So I don't know how you did it, Tiara. I don't know how you did it, Vera. Like, did you
That's
guys
the
did it all the
longest
way
trip
through?
I've taken. I think the
Just
longest trip I've taken is New Orleans to DC, Washington, DC.
okay.
What?
Wait, how long?
Wow.
Is
Yeah,
that 8 hours?
15, 16 hours.
Nope, 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 nope. I would burn my car halfway through that trip. I'm like, just no, I don't know. Our relationship is different now. I hate you in the car.
I know. Like, do you
That
really need the
wasn't in
driver?
my car. Would you
Absolutely.
say,
Like,
Vera?
I was like, are people even on speaking terms after that long? Like,
Exactly.
are you just nodding? By like hour 12, we're just nodding. We're not even saying words anymore.
How many times did you get into
Listen,
an argument with your co-pilot? Like, fuck that.
we
No.
we actually didn't get in an argument. Yeah, we're good friends. The crazy part about it is driving back. We had just switched off, and about 2 hours into her part of the drive, she fell asleep at the wheel.
Nope. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. We not friends
Oh,
no more.
We're
oh,
still
boy.
friends.
You better than me.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Well, I'm happy
Yeah.
that you both are
Holy,
safe, but
Oh
no.
yeah.
right.
Oh
Um,
yeah. We're safe and walking around doing great. So
so jumping back to what you were saying, you're going to Texas Labor Day weekend. Tell us about that trip. And have you
yes,
been
I'm
before
going.
to that part of Texas?
We no, wait. I don't think any of us have been to Austin.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a new for all of us, I believe. But I'm flying into Baton Rouge, and I'm going to drive
What is your
with my
problem?
good friend.
The one that fell asleep at the wheel?
No, no, no. This is a different friend.
Okay.
And we're gonna drive to Austin from Baton Rouge, have a fun weekend, and then drive back. And then I still, have a couple of days because I'm taking the week off. Okay, it's Labor Day week
Mm.
for me.
Labor Day week.
Yeah,
I feel like
Labor
one
week.
should be working during labor, It's labor. Labor your ass up in the office.
I am paying tribute to all those people that
Got exploited.
picketed so I could have my Labor Day.
Okay. So you're doing anything in particular while you're in Austin?
We don't really have a plan. We're gonna have I know for a fact one thing we're gonna do, we're gonna have a nice dinner one night where everybody's green
Okay.
and,
Everybody wears
you
green.
know, but we don't have the whole itinerary figured out. Like everybody has their list of things that they want to do from Instagram, and then we're gonna piece together an itinerary.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, you got to do barbecue while you're down there. That's like a must.
Of course. I mean, food, we're doing all food, not just barbecue. We're going to do some Tex-Mex while we're there. Got a nice speakeasy we're gonna go to. Yeah,
Ooh.
all food is on the agenda.
Okay. All right. Well, have a fun, safe trip, and want to see all the pictures on Instagram and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
So, Vera, you just started a show on Netflix, right?
No, it's one I like in the middle of watching again for like the third time.
So you've seen the series, you just rewatching it, or like you've been having trouble getting through it?
No, I just keep rewatching it. I just
Okay.
like it that much.
All right. Well, what's the show?
Altered Carbon. I started watching it because of COVID, you know. So I got really deep into Netflix. I was thinking, I was like, you know what? I am a dedicated citizen of the United States of Netflix because I feel like I've watched almost every show or trailer there is to watch. It's kind of sickening. It's basically all I watch. Like my news come from other people that watch the news. I'm like, really? Get out of here. Like, it took me days to figure out Russia was in war.
Gosh.
That's so
Whoa.
I am days behind all of it because it's not on Netflix. It's not on
Fair.
Netflix.
That's
Anywho,
fair. That's fair.
going back to the show. It is pretty good. It's talk about it lightly. It's where people, if you die, they found a way to move your consciousness, memories, your who you identify as into other bodies.
Hmm.
And you can like upgrade to something that's maybe healthier, younger than you are. If it's supplied by the government and any bodies that's on what body you're gonna be put in, but that's like basically how the movie goes without me telling all of it.
I never heard about the show.
So
Yeah,
I
I think
remember
two
that.
seasons.
Yeah, I remember that the lead changes each season. So like the first season, was Anthony Mackie the first season or was he the second season?
Second.
Okay. So Anthony Mackie was the lead on the first season, and Joel Kinnaman, he was on that show The Killing, and he was also RoboCop in the reboot of RoboCop. He was the lead in the first
Um,
season.
I haven't seen either one.
I mean, The Killing is really good. You okay on watching
Hmm.
RoboCop? I feel like The Killing should be on Netflix because they picked it. So it had like, I want to say 3 seasons on TV, and then it was canceled, and then they picked it up for a 4th season. So it should be on there. It's a
Okay.
remake of like a Swedish show where each season is a different like
Hmm.
case, and in season 1, like you were looking for a missing boy, I think, and like there's
Okay.
a lot of other stuff. But I'm doing a search right now on Netflix, and it's not there. So I got nothing for you, Vera.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was like, okay, I'll look.
But no, it's a really good show. Um, okay, so have you been watching? Oh, actually, have you checked out They Cloned Tyrone?
No, but I saw like the trailer. I was like, I have to watch this. I did not know Jay Fox was in it. Just found that out yesterday. So I really want
Um,
to see it.
I'd
I feel
highly
like
recommend
anything
it.
with John Boyega, I have to see it. So yeah.
I'd recommend it. It's
Okay.
a yeah.
It seemed like it had a funny part to it. I don't know if it was supposed to be a
It's kind of
comedy.
fun. Think of it more. It's in the same arena as like Undercover Brother and Sorry to Bother You, where it's like it has a message about like society,
Okay.
but
Okay.
it's not it's serious. It's fun. It's fun. There's
I would say
jokes.
the blackening too. Blackening, I mean, a message, but it's funny.
Yes, but the the reason I said Undercover Brother and Sorry to Bother You specifically is because of like how absurd it gets too.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, I'd recommend it.
Okay.
Um, so just briefly, so I've been reading a book called Burn It Down by Maureen Ryan. So
Hmm.
I'm a big TV and movie guy. That's part of the reason why we're all talking right now. And she used to have a podcast, but basically Maureen Ryan is an entertainment journalist. And so she wrote a book about kind of like the not so great things of like the last 20-ish years in Hollywood, mostly about TV stuff. So like bad producers. Right now the chapter I'm reading is about the behind the scenes stuff on Lost. Apparently it was not a good place to work. The writers room especially was like really, it was not easy being in the writers room if you were not a white man. And so like she
Mm.
interviewed like a lot of
Mm.
like people like the few people of color that did work there and for a short period, obviously. Um, there's one story where basically, in the old days of TV before streaming came along and you ended up not making money from working. When you write sometimes you would get assigned a TV show, and when your name is like top billing on that episode, you're getting more residuals than normal. And so
Right.
they gave an episode to this woman, and it did really well. It got nominated for like an Emmy, like all the fans loved it and all that stuff. And as a result of that episode being so well liked, she got blackballed in the writers' room, and they wouldn't give her assignments anymore. And then they were also like, your episode's doing real well, and we did assign that to you. You probably should, show how grateful you are. Just go and buy us a little something. We are your boss, right? Like shit like that, for an example.
Ugh.
Other stuff was
Wow.
like Harold Perrineau. He was the one in the Best Man that got with the stripper.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
yep, yep.
So he was on
Mm-hmm.
From
the
The
first two
Wire.
seasons of Lost, and
Yep.
he was like, "Hey, y'all not really giving me anything to do," and also like they were like a big plot point in the show is that his son gets kidnapped on the island, and they were like trying to write it in a way to where like they weren't bringing that up anymore, and he's like, I'm not gonna contribute to um people not caring about little black kids getting snatched. Like you guys need to like have my character acknowledge his son was kidnapped, and like also you guys aren't giving me anything to do. Like I come to set every day to work, put me to work, and so they're like, okay, so we actually wrote you out the show since you're being difficult.
Whoa.
So stuff of that nature. So it's really interesting.
Wow.
I didn't know like things were that bad. But that's kind of why I got the book, because I want to hear these behind the scenes stories. But yeah, it's
Hmm.
interesting. It's heavy. It's some heavy shit. So it's not like you could just
Yeah.
run right through it. You gotta take some breaks. But
Oh, wait.
so far I recommend it. But anyway, like I said, we're keeping it light this week, light in topics. So we're gonna slide right into our discussion of Barbie.
Wow, this is the real world. What's going on? Why are these men looking at me?
Yeah, they're also staring at me.
Barbie in the real world. That's impossible.
If this got out, this could mean extremely weird things for our world.
Barbie suffers a crisis that leads her to question her world and her existence. Okay, that's really short. All right. So before we actually talk about the movie per se, I want to know you ladies' history with Barbies. Like, do you remember when you got your first Barbie? Which Barbies did you have? Did you have any that stuck out? Did you keep any? Why don't you lead the charge here, Tiara?
Okay. I was not a huge Barbie girl. I had a couple of dolls. I was more into my action figures.
Okay.
I do remember two Barbies that I got. One was one Christmas I got a Princess Barbie,
Mm.
and then I got just a random black Barbie,
A random
and
black
then
Barbie.
I mean, it wasn't like a special, it wasn't like she had a job. She was just a black Barbie, like a black stereotypical Barbie.
You got welfare Barbie.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong, I did have some, off-brand Barbies, but no, she was like, how Barbie in the movie is just
Well, you was like
stereotypical Barbie.
you said she didn't have a job, so I'm like, so she
She
unemployed.
didn't have a job.
She
I
on the
mean, the
welfare,
Barbie, main character Barbie in the movie
getting
didn't
that
have a job. She
fucking
wasn't on welfare.
government cheese and shit.
We'll just call
She
her
was
Black
kept
Beach
on.
Barbie, okay? She was black, okay? That's
Okay.
the most important part.
Did you keep any or either or whatever?
No, I was the type of kid who my Barbies turned into weird Barbies. Okay.
Oh, oh, you're
Like,
destructive, huh?
not saying I went with the haircut, but I used to, like, the clothes got lost. I used to make their own clothes out of toilet paper. I would color them and do wrap dresses with my Barbies. So yeah. And then, like, I had a Beetlejuice car that I'm pretty sure was my brother's at one point in time. They would ride around in the Beetlejuice car. Like, hey.
Okay. What about you, Vera?
Um, I was into Barbie. I don't remember a name she had. I'm gonna go with Tiara. I think I just had like lounge Barbie,
Lounge Barbie?
just work Barbie. Like I don't remember these gals' name, but I had a few of them. I remember I had like the Barbie limousine. She
Okay.
was styling and
There you go.
profiling. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I had a few of them. I just don't remember names to them like at all. And then I bought a Barbie recently, my first black Barbie, but she
Wait,
doesn't
you
have a
you had all white
name.
Barbies growing up?
I think so. I don't remember any chocolate or mocha or caramel or anything.
Okay.
I don't. I got one now. I call her hip and thigh because she's not like tiny, but she just has a number. She doesn't have a name.
Now hold her up to
Yeah.
the camera.
Oh, but that's what
Hip and thigh
still
Oh,
Barbie.
life.
okay. My Barbie's still in the box.
Yeah.
She's got braids. Look at her.
Hold up a
Yeah, and
second.
they red. They got hoop earrings. She got flat tennis shoes on.
Yes, come.
Oh, I was actually buying a gift for my little cousin, sorry, his daughter. And just like the only child I am, I was like, well, I'm not going to buy a toy for her and not for me. I'm the one that's working. So that's how Barbie got into my possession.
I love it.
Yeah, you guys did get her a Barbie for her birthday. I don't remember which one. It's in her room, so I can't go, and she's here, so I can't go in there. But this is
Yeah.
yeah. So I was like, huh. I thought I had one, but then when I'm looking at this is just a Moana. I thought this was a Barbie Moana, but this is just a Moana.
Mm.
But I don't remember which Barbie you guys got her. I know she's black, but I don't remember which one
Yeah.
where her
I
assignment
can't, I
was.
want to say was she a teacher? I can't even remember now. I can't
No,
remember.
no, I really
Yeah.
wasn't thinking. Like I would have grabbed it when I put her to bed, but I wasn't thinking. I was just like, please go to bed. So sorry. If I remember in the editing process on YouTube, it's going to pop up on the screen right now. Otherwise, you're just going to keep seeing my face. But okay, so you didn't keep any at all, Vera?
I'm gonna go with no, unless my mom might have, but I don't remember seeing any, like just as I've moved from different place to place. So I'm gonna go with no.
Okay. Well, I didn't have any Barbies. I remember one time I was hanging out at your house and we played Barbies, and you were like, "Oh yeah, you can play with the
Hmm.
Ken guy." But I was just like, "This is, I guess. I mean, he's just Ken, right?"
Yeah, I do remember having a Ken. I don't know. I feel like it was a short time
You did,
that
because I played
Barbie
with
was
him.
around.
I did not have a Ken. I had a Soul Train guy,
Soul Train
but
guy.
I did not have a Ken.
Um.
Yes.
Okay. Well, bouncing off the Barbie topic, well, the toys. So let's talk about the theater experience. So Tiara, what kind of tell us about the theater experience? Like what theater did you go to? Did you wear pink? Did you get snacks? Did you go with
Okay,
people?
so I did not wear pink. The first time, well, yeah, I went to go see Barbie because I there were two attempts to go see Barbie, even though I only saw Barbie once. It was the most crowded that the theater had ever been. I
Yeah.
try to always go to an AMC whenever I can,
You the pledge of
brand
Nicole
loyalty.
Kidman. I got you.
I did. Yeah. Okay.
I'm
For
with you.
been a Stubbs card holder
Same.
for a long time.
Same. As I walk into the theater, I get the knife and I cut my hand and I'll do my blood offering to Nicole Kidman.
But oh no. But yeah, so there was a kid behind me trying to kick my chair, but his mother several times was like, don't you do it. Don't you get your foot off of that chair. And I appreciate that as a fellow moviegoer because lately people have had no respect coming back to the movie theater.
Yeah,
They want
people
to put their
fucking
feet
foul
up
out
on
here.
the chair with the blank. I'm just like, okay, all right, y'all. It's a community space. But no, so it wasn't obnoxious like I was expecting it to be. I feel like any movie that's like wasn't a kid movie, but any movie where you can expect a lot of kids, you can expect a lot of craziness. So I had a very pleasant experience. I sat there with my medium popcorn and my medium drink because I'm going down a size,
I'm
and
already
enjoy
telling
my
you, you're
movie.
messing up, Vince. You should have spent $65 on the AMC only Barbie branded car popcorn bucket.
Really?
I didn't even see that as an option in my theater. I mean,
Probably sold out the first day. Honestly, like when we went the other day, I didn't see them, and they're usually like draped
Me
out.
either.
They were probably sold out day one,
yeah,
especially
that's
since
Really
it's like sold
interesting.
out screenings like every night. People went hard for those popcorn buckets, those collectibles.
right. And
Okay.
then like the second attempt, I went to go see it this past Sunday. My dear friend lives in Tampa. We were going to meet in Kissimmee and go to brunch and then go see it together. I was pretending like I hadn't seen the movie. However, we ended up going to a
Yeah.
Regal and it was full. So we need to purchase tickets for the movie. So I'm glad I had already seen it. So we did have brunch, but there was no Barbie afterward. And she had on all pink, and I
So
could
she
not
was
find a
ready.
pink.
She was ready.
She was ready. She had on the two-piece set, linen set, and I had on my Dolly shirt and my ripped jeans and my pearl slides, my pearl Steve Madden slides, because I don't own any pink daytime clothing. I wasn't wearing a pink club dress to go see Barbie life. So wore another blonde bombshell to go see Barbie. There you go.
Okay.
Hmm.
So how about you, Vera? Even though I know because I was there.
So starting with the theater we went to,
Yeah. What was your theater
versus
experience like? AKA also mine.
uh, starting with the seats, I thought they were pretty good. I enjoyed that. I was I was surprised on. I don't know why I thought it'd be like more younger people there. I was just surprised on how mature of a crowd it was. I'll put it that way. I
I'm
thought it would have been more
honest.
teens.
But honestly, like it. I don't know too many younger people to poll, especially like young women. Like, I'm not sure if
Mhm.
Barbie's like that hot shit.
Oh, okay. Well, that
I
makes sense
mean,
then.
Barbie has a TV show though, so somebody's watching it.
Barbie has a TV show.
I,
Lord.
This is news to
yeah, I
me.
think she still has one. It's like CGI type of.
Sure. Okay.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah,
news to
that's new to
us.
me. Yeah,
Well,
I did not know
is
that.
it just streamed? I don't know. I don't have kids, man, but I'm pretty sure she had a show not that long ago. I don't know if it's still out
Hmm.
there, but I'm pretty sure she had a show.
Well, no, I didn't know.
News,
But
to
I
news to
thought it
us,
was
okay?
yeah. I thought it was pretty good. We were without snacks because we ate beforehand.
Right.
So no snacks or drink. All of it happened right before. First time having black and shrimp tacos. In the words
Ooh.
of very young people, they were bussing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Um, Vera, you're gonna get us canceled. All right, we too old to be talking like that.
they were good. They were good. But yeah. It was hey man, good seats. People were decent. I don't remember like people being obnoxious or loud or anything.
Yeah,
So I enjoyed it.
we had a good crowd. Like what um yeah, I've really been, really been ramping up like the movie stuff this summer. And what part of what makes me sad is when like there it isn't that crowded in the theater. Like I've seen some stuff where it was like a handful of people in there. And but it was really nice to see like a pretty much sold out crowd, and like the audience is
Hmm.
just with it, like getting the jokes and all that stuff. I don't remember there being any issues with like the kids like being like loud or anything like that, or unruly or whatnot. um I saw a movie the other day, Haunted Mansion, and like those kids was just wilding out up in there. It was it was bad. But no, so much pink, and it's just nice. It's just like, everybody, as to I'm using outdated terms because I am an old person. Everyone understood the assignment, with the pink and stuff. And it was just nice, just to just just to see people, in communion with Barbie, and just like, all right, we're going to see Barbie. This is the outfit. This is the assignment. And I fucking loved it.
Since we're
Um,
all throwing terms in there that we shouldn't maybe say, period poo.
all right. Yes, we are all giving off the ick, but Um, so sliding over to you, Vera. Before seeing this movie, did you have any hopes, wishes, things you would hope to see? Any impressions at all?
um, I don't know what I was expecting. I think like I almost didn't expect it to have a storyline to keep up with. I thought it was just gonna be like aimless,
Mm-hmm.
over the top comedy. And so the fact that they had like a storyline to it in a way, I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. And then I like it that they took it from as if you were actually in Barbie's house in in her land. Like, I thought that was pretty cool.
Okay. What about you, Tiara? Any expectations before you saw the movie?
So I have to be completely honest. When I first saw the earliest trailers for this movie, I had no desire to see it. I was like, what is this?
I'm sorry.
There is like,
Do you hate women?
no, I'm a woman.
Then why was your knee gut reaction not to support women?
Because no, it wasn't to support women. It's not that I did not want to support women. Okay. I feel like you're putting words in my mouth.
That's what I
It's
am.
just
That's
that
what
the
I do. I'm
trailer,
a man. Okay, that's what we do. All right, patriarchy.
yeah,
Ooh,
the patriarchy.
all right, Ken.
Exactly.
Right. All right.
Anyhow, but yeah, I was just, the Space Odyssey trailer just didn't do anything for me. I was like, what is this? This is going to be some foolishness. Like,
Mhm.
so I just went in there thinking, I just want to enjoy this movie. I don't want to see, people of color being tokenized. And I want to enjoy the movie. Those were my hopes for the movie going into it. So I
Right.
was pleasantly surprised.
Okay, so I'm not too up on the Barbie lore. So it's not like going in, I was like, oh man, I hope that they reference this thing that happened with Barbie in 1993. So I wasn't like looking at it from that lens. But just like as somebody that watches a lot of movies, watches even more trailers, I found it very interesting that they were intentionally not telling you what the story was about in the trailers. And I was like, ooh, I feel like they're hiding something here. Like they know the internet is about to be fucking mad. Well, sorry, one part of the internet is going to be really mad when this movie comes out. And I'm like, they're trying to delay that. And I was like, that just makes me even more interested in this movie because it's gonna be very anti that part of the internet. And so to an extent, I was surprised, but I wasn't surprised by like what this movie's actually about. Cause like, duh, it's about womanhood. But I was also surprised like how far they went with it. And so I'm like, yeah, fuck that side of the internet, right? So I
Yeah.
was not upset by what I saw, but let's kind of talk about it. So non-spoileries, what were you all's thoughts on this movie? I'll lead the charge.
Uh,
I'll lead the charge.
Go ahead. Go
So
ahead.
I really enjoy. I really like this movie. I said to Vera as we were walking out, you don't see movies in this day and age like this that are just silly. Like this felt like something that we would have saw as kids in the early '90s that would have bombed. And I'm not saying this movie would have bombed in the box office, but I was like the tone of it would have bombed in the box office, and then when we got it on video, we would have just kept watching it, or it would have just been kept repeated on cable, and we would have kept watching it because like it had like that silly vibe of like what is that one something about aliens and like mom and dad were kidnapped by aliens or something like that. Is that a movie?
Oh, Mom and Dad Save the World. Is that the one?
Maybe.
Okay.
Or,
Yeah, right.
like a silly tone like that, like a Stay Tuned,
Yeah, I used to watch
um,
that all the time.
Cone Heads, stuff like that, like from the
Yeah.
early '90s, where it's just like this is just like so goofy, and it's like they don't make movies like that anymore. So like I appreciated that
No,
it
they
kept
don't.
that tone up. And also like the movie has part of like that whole fish out of water storyline where it's like somebody from one area comes like to the big city, and they have to see how like normal people act and like their reaction to that. Like I personally don't always like that in movies, but like I felt like
Mhm.
it was done quite well. um the emotional stuff with like Margot Robbie, where it was like the scene where she's just sitting on a park bench and she's just trying to, get her bearings, and then she has that conversation with that older woman. I was just like, yeah, yeah. And then when she goes to visit America Ferrera's daughter, and like she's like, yes, here's the other side. Here are the negative things that Barbie has done to our society. And it's just like great speech, great acting by the young lady. And then like how Margot Robbie, like she hit the dramatic beats of it, but also it was funny. The scene was funny too. Like she also like turned it somewhat comedic, so like we weren't all feeling down. um I'm going to talk about it more in the spoiler section. I was very surprised that the movie had like an actual villain. I just thought like the villain would just be like, oh shit, we grow up, right? That's the real villain. Our childhood innocence goes away. But no, it had an actual villain. It had somebody you could fight. So like that was like, wow, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
the sets were cool. The
Mm-hmm.
wardrobe was really cool, and I love that like when they're in Barbie land, they make it clear these are not real people. These are dolls. So that was
Right.
fun.
Yeah.
But what about you, Tiara?
Okay, so basically non-spoiler thoughts. I love that almost anybody can go see this movie. Like I was like, okay, it's a movie for girls. I feel like mothers and daughters can go together. Mothers can take their sons to that movie, and the son wouldn't have to be like, "Oh man, I had to sit through Barbie." Like I think little
Mhm.
boys would enjoy that movie as much as little girls. There's definitely something in there for everybody. I love that they were throwing punches at Mattel, man.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
who, who is this? And y'all just, you aired all your dirty laundry. Like, I love it. I love it. But they kept it upbeat and funny. They had some serious messages. But they made the messaging go down easy for, or should have. I just feel like people are just gonna, that dark side of the internet, as you call it. They're gonna
Yeah.
hate everything possible, but they try to
Yeah.
make it, as smooth as they could, and I enjoyed every minute of it. And I wasn't a huge Ryan Gosling fan, and I'm just like, my goodness, he got buff for this movie. So go
Yeah,
Ryan Gosling.
I don't know if he's ever I don't know if I've ever seen him that big.
No,
Yeah.
never. I'm like, hey, that man hasn't had a carb in 2 years, and go him.
That's all he was doing during COVID, was just training for this movie.
Yeah.
But what about you, Vera?
Pretty much the same as what you all said. I agree with Tiara that basically anybody can go and see it and not feel like it's not it's not geared towards them, or that it's. I didn't think it was trying to talk to a certain audience. I
Right.
felt like it was trying to communicate to everybody, and I like the fact that it had some comedy to it and then some seriousness to it as well. And I did love the costumes and
Yes.
how like not real the set was, and just that
Yeah, like
car and the
it was clearly
hall.
like this is not real. So like don't even think that we are trying to make this look real.
Yeah, I like that. I like that they didn't try to make it seem like it was Barbie in real life. Like, no,
Yeah.
you're still in plastic. So I definitely enjoyed that. I enjoyed that a lot, and the the singing to it as well. I enjoyed it.
Yes. Yes. It's like, oh wait, it's not exactly a musical, but it's got musical parts in it. And it's like, what's happening
Hmm.
here? What is happening?
Yeah. But you find yourself enjoying it. Like, I don't know, but
Yes, like I really like the big song and dance number at the end between Ryan Gosling and I think is the guy that played Shang-Chi. Um
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. Simu Leo
yes, yes,
Lu.
Simu Lee. Lu,
Yo,
Simu
there it
Lu.
is.
Like because like
Yeah.
the whole like the way they were dressed and like some of the choreography gave me thoughts of Grease.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Like when they're
Yeah.
when they do, I think is it Grease Lightning?
Grease lightning. Yep.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like when they're all in like on that set and like they're all in the black and stuff and like they're doing the dance and stuff. Like I feel like that was an homage to Grease and like I really liked that. But yeah, let's slide on over to spoilers. So if you have not seen the movie yet, please hop off now. But yeah, really love this movie. I will say I don't feel like we needed the Mattel executives to go to Barbie Land. Um,
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
because like when they were like, "Oh yeah, we're on the way," and like we're making all this money because like Ken has turned Barbie Land into Ken Land, and they got the Mojo Jojo house whatever and like that's just flying off the shelves and he's like no we can't allow this to continue, this isn't about money. I'm like this feels hollow now because it's like why wouldn't this be about money? Like if now if they made it clear like the point was like we can't let the Kens stay in charge because they're gonna man it up as in they're gonna just like ruin everything at the end of it, and that's why we can't have them in charge, because like we're trying to have a business that's going to last a long time instead of make some money now and then not have money later because they're gonna nuke each other in Canland. Yes, that makes sense as to why you're trying to interfere, but they didn't really go that far, in my opinion. So I felt like there
That's
was no
fair.
reason for them to go to Barbie Land.
Right. In the plot, like they would have came to the same conclusion whether they went there or not. So I definitely see where you're coming from.
Yeah. Any other spoiler thoughts?
Mine's is silly, but at the end when Ken was like, well, trying to come out of his haze of being on top in his kingdom, I really liked his hood that said "Enough."
I want that T-shirt. I want that T-shirt.
Yeah,
and it was rainbow.
I can't wait till they come out with that shirt. I want the hoodie. I want the hoodie. I want the white chinchilla fur Sylvester Stallone situation he had on.
Yes.
I don't know where I'm gonna wear that in Florida, but I want it.
I want that. I want that facial hair, that 70s Stallone facial hair. That's what I want.
It was just something really there. I was like, I am here for it. A high-speed chase that happened in Barbie. I was like, what is happening in the Barbie movie? So I thought that was, I didn't expect it. I was like, oh, okay, we're being kind of adult here.
Yeah. What's his name? Number one, I love Alan. Alan was definitely my favorite part of the movie. The fight sequence that he had, I was like, get him. Where can I get an Alan doll? Because they need to bring that one back.
That was a real doll, right?
Yeah. That was a real doll. That was a real doll. Midge was a real doll. Sugar Daddy Ken was a real doll. Like all of these dolls that they nicked were all real, and that was crazy to me. Video Girl Barbie. I was like, what? Why didn't my parents get me Video Girl Barbie? Because I would have loved that. But that's okay.
And then that weird Barbie. The fact that they gave her a light, I was just like, oh my gosh. I've seen so many people turn a Barbie into a weird Barbie. So I thought that was great that they gave her her own house. She had her own personality, friends, and all of it. That was awesome.
And she did the splits, man. She did the splits.
What was the significance of the splits?
I mean, that you warped your doll so much that you could do splits. A regular Barbie, you can't do splits from side to side. Front to back, but not side to side.
Okay, because they did say a few times she got played with too hard. Okay, so that's what they meant. Okay. So we're rounding up to an hour here, ladies. So before we disembark, is there going forward, you know, this movie made all the fucking money. What would you like to see in a Barbie sequel?
Good question.
I don't know if I want to see a Barbie sequel, honestly, because I don't think it would be as genuine.
This made too much money. You can't not have a sequel.
Said you cannot have a sequel. No. Well, okay. I was reading that Barbie has a sibling. And
yes.
Like,
isn't Skipper her sister?
Skipper, yeah. Skipper's her little sister.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember Skipper being mentioned in the movie.
She was. She was in it
briefly.
Yeah, maybe. I think she said hi to her at the beginning, like, "Hi, Skipper." Maybe. I do
Yeah,
remember they
I think it was
referenced
right
Skipper.
after Midge, right around the time they were talking about Midge.
We discontinued that one in the 90s.
Uh,
Yeah, well, I'm sure like there are lots of Barbies, like even though they referenced a lot of different Barbies, I'm sure there's other Barbies that they could reference perhaps. Oh, you know what? Did you ladies see the that Rescue Rangers movie on Disney Plus? It came out last summer.
No.
Nope.
So the plot about that was that they were trying to combat like not counterfeiting, bootlegs, like bootleg like Peter Pan and like basically, other countries making bootleg copies of like American stuff. So maybe it would be kind of funny if like um I think it was you, Tiara, that said that you had like some off-brand Barbies growing up.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
If they kind of explore that, like of those other brands that tried to be Barbie that failed, or just out and out bootlegs, and like maybe even have like an island
Mm.
of misfit toys type situation where
I would feel
a
like that
couple
would
of the
be a real
Barbies.
funny SNL skit though. Like I would much rather see that SNL skit.
I don't need to see 2 hours of that. Well, that's my
Well,
pitch for a Barbie sequel.
Okay.
I'd see that.
I like it.
Like, yeah, I could. They'd probably be. I don't want to say against each other. They'd probably be against each other because you got the real versus the imitation.
Yeah. All right. So
I
before we get
would,
out of here, I do want to say, I'm sorry. What were we saying?
I would just want to say I want to see Ken find a Barbie that wants him back. That's what I want to find
Well, he
or
was
see.
just so adamant on being with that specific Barbie. I'm sure that he could have found another Barbie if he didn't want that one. But
Yeah.
last thing, I'm looking at the organizational chart of Mattel, and they have 10 executives here, and I want you ladies to guess how many of these 10 people are women.
One.
I think I'll go with 3.
You're right, Vera, 3.
What?
Now, in turn, how many of these 10 people are people of color?
One on a sunny day.
I don't even think the CEO is from America. So I'm just gonna say one.
Yeah, 1.
Yeah, that's fair. His name is Ynon, Ynon Kurtz.
Yeah,
Where are you from, sir?
some European country. I'm not even sure.
So to answer the question, one, and it is a Latino man who when I first scrolled, I thought he was a white dude, but he's a Latino man. Everybody else is white. So that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. 3 women, 1 POC. That's cool.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm not gonna
Mhm.
lie. It's
Yeah.
23.
Hey,
Although I don't
the
know why I'm
checklist
like,
has been checked.
I don't know why I'm being like fake offended here, because it's like, look at the organizational chart of like every company. Like it's
Right.
the Mattel should be happy that they've got 3 women, sadly.
Yeah.
But all right, that's the show. I genuinely appreciate you ladies coming on with me midweek, talking movies, sharing your life and all that jazz. Very kind of you. Do either of you have anything you want to plug while we're here?
No plugs.
Uh-oh, Vera's got something to plug. What you got to plug, Vera?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, that's fair.
No, I don't.
Well, I do appreciate you guys, and I do appreciate you, dear listeners. And so thank you for so much for listening. Please rate, like, and review our podcast on your platform of choice. If you have any feedback, please email us at weusedtotalkpod@gmail.com. Follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, also Threads. I mean, it's a thing. We're not using it, but it is a thing we have at We Used to Talk Pod. Follow me on Letterboxd at BOW1213 and Matt at Mr. King 0257. Come back next week when we review Hook, Steven Spielberg's Hook. And yeah, that's the show. Thanks for listening. We got an hour of content out of this. I'm surprised too. See you.